Today I'm going to be making a squad builder around none other than Scott Sinclair. Now he is in this week's Team of the Week, and just look at them stats. I mean, I couldn't ignore this card. 91 pace, 86 shooting, 85 dribbling, and his passing and physical is pretty decent. Obviously he's defending, but he's a striker. 4-star skill moves, his weak foot's not the greatest. High attack and work rate, I've only played 4 games with him at the minute. And for 18k, I think he's like 25k at the time of recording this, so I did get a steal on him there. But he is a brilliant card. And I think he's kind of overlooked by I think Lewandowski's in this Team of the Week as well, so that's probably why I've not seen anyone do a squad builder or any sort of video based purely on this card. So that's what I'm going to do today, and I'll build a team around him, and I'll be back with you. So I've decided what team I'm going with, and the team I'm going to go with for this Scott Sinclair, Jack Butland, 100%. I did not want the lone one, but Jack Butland, I'm not sure how many games he's played for me. He's played 22 games for me, and for 2k, he is an absolute steal. He is my favourite keeper in this entire game. People say Czech, people say Courtois. I've not used Courtois or De Gea, but people say them too. People may say Neuer, Oblak, Sirigu, all these keepers. Jack Butland is my favourite. For 2k, he is brilliant. Now, he's probably, I'd say he's got a very similar style to Petr Cech. He's like, I'd say he's better than Petr Cech, to be honest. Like, he's not even got the same style. He is just, voice crack there, but you will see in the gameplay that I show you that he is just the most outstanding keeper, and you've probably heard this from a load of FIFA YouTubers before, but Jack Butland is an absolute steal. Go get him. I'm surprised he's not higher, to be honest. I know he's only 82 rated, and his stats, 81 diving, 83 handling, 85 reflexes, and nearly with 80 positioning, but he is just so good. Anyway, for the centre-back here, I went for somebody for chemistry reasons. This player I hate on Ultimate Team, so I don't know why I'm using him, but it's Gary Cahill. Now, I'm not sure how many games he's played for me, 15, and he's just terrible. How much was he? He couldn't have been that 1k700, so I mean, I guess if you want him, normally I'll only buy this card for chemistry reasons, because on FIFA 15 and 16, I would buy this card and I would use him, because Gary Cahill I thought was a good centre-back. In this game, for some reason, I'm not sure if it's the formation, I'm not sure if it's who I've paired him with, but everyone gets past him. It's really annoying, and it's quite pathetic, to be honest. I mean, when I've got him in centre back, they'll score at least 3 or 4 goals. It's really bad. I'm not a fan of this card at all, but he links perfectly with my next left back, who is my favourite left back in the game. So he's completely opposite to Cahill there. But it is, by the way, if I keep like making pauses, it's because my throat is really bad at the minute. I've probably got like tonsillitis coming or something, I'm not sure, but I've got a sore throat at the minute. So, but anyway, getting out that way, you'd see Aspilicueta here, okay, first owner, all that good stuff, 76 games, I mean, obviously assists and that, but he's a left back, what you expect, he's meant to defend, not attack, but 85 defending, 84 defending rather, and then the rest of his stats, even for a left back, don't seem that good. I mean, they're all 70, besides his shooting, obviously, but they don't seem that good, especially compared to my other right back, who is much lower rated, but has stats that you could say are better. But Aspilicueta, he is really good. Now, I'm not sure how much he's going for. He is 84 rated, so I expect a good 8 or 9k. But he is brilliant. He's in left wing back because I had a position with 5 defenders in at one point, and I just haven't been asked to change him since. But he's my favourite left back, and here we're going to have my favourite English, I need to specify English, my favourite English centre back, which is John Stones. If I ever make an English team or a team based around England, I will put him in the team because brilliant. 75 pace for centre back immediately is good. Now, the only thing I don't like about this card, and I'll go on right at the start to say this, is his high attacking work rate. And he's got 71 dribbling, which for a defender is good, but he runs up in the attack so much, I'll think he's like, I don't know, one of the other players in my team, maybe Scott Sinclair. I'll think he's somebody else. He'll shoot, and because he's got 35 shot, it's just not. So he acts like a kind of centre defensive mid, centre mid kind of player, even though he's a centre back, which could be the reason people get past Cahill so easily. But 44 games, you can tell I like him. He's a really good centre back, and there was a bit of a voice crack in there as well. But anyway, here we're going to have Nathaniel Klein. I spelled Klein wrong. Nathaniel Klein. Now, a lot of people say, I've actually heard somebody I play with on FIFA quite a lot, say that Klein is better than Aspilicueta. I actually asked them this, and that's not true. Come on. I got Klein, I'll be honest, more for chemistry reasons in this team, a bit like Cahill, but he was probably the best player I could get for chemistry reasons. There was a few English right backs I could have went with. I went with Klein because I thought he was the best out of them English right backs. You know what? We'll go centre defensive mid. We're not going to go CM quite yet, but we've got Michael Carrick. Now, anyone who's played with Michael Carrick knows he is brilliant. For how much he's worth, 800 coins, he does really well. He's 81 rated, not the best, really old, but I mean, well, not really old, but he's old for a footballer, and but that doesn't really matter in Ultimate Team. But we've got 80 passing, I mean, decent. We don't really need that though. His defending is decent, and he's got low attacking work rate, so he never runs up. Medium defensive, so he's not got any high. I'd prefer if he had high defensive. That'd make him an even better player. But he's like a third centre back for me in a way. He fills in for John Stones, I feel. When John Stones runs up in attack, he stays further back, Michael Carrick, than John Stones does. It's pretty weird to think that, but it's true. But anyway, over on this side, I know we've got... I nearly forgot who I was going to put there, and I spelled his name wrong. It's Jack Wilshere. Now, another Jack, not Jack Butland this time. Jack Wilshere. He is... a player who I did first of all pick for chemistry, because obviously Scott Sinclair, he's not in the Premier League. I need an English player to fit with him, and he's just brilliant. Jack Wilshere, I'm not sure what it is about him. He's got medium, he's left footed. I actually thought he was right footed, but 84 dribbling, 81 passing. He is a good card, especially for the price, 1k100. I'm going on quite a lot now. I expected this squad build to be about 2 minutes, but anyway, over this side we have the one, the only, I don't know why I'm saying the one, the only, but we do have Jordan Henderson. Yet again, he was a card who I went to see for chemistry reasons, obviously because he's English, but I really like this card, and I'm not saying that, I know I say this with most cards, like I've said with Butland, Stones, Carrick, Wilshere and Aspilicueta. I really like the cards, but I honestly do really like this card. I think it's a really all-rounder card. He's not great. He's not like John Stones. Like John Stones, I think, is a really good card, but for his position, he does really well, okay? So, in cam, we're going to have, and you probably guessed by the name I'm going to type in, Adam Lallana. Perfect chemistry to both Jack Wilshere, Michael Carrick and Henderson, and he's obviously English, so he has decent chemistry with Sinclair over here. But my next striker, okay, by the way, I need to say a bit about Lallana. 4 games, not a lot of games, 2 goals, 1 assist, not that bad of a conversion rate, 5-star weak foot, which I'm sure means he's ambidextrous, and a 75 pace, 75 shooting, 84 dribbling, 80. I mean, he's got stats that I would expect on like maybe a 85 rather, 86 rated card. He is brilliant. I mean, he's quite small, but I mean, small and agile, that's what you want from a centre attacking mid. You don't really need a really tall player, and he's got high attack and work rate as well. He probably goes up more, he probably goes up about the same as Scott Sinclair here, but here we're going to have a player who you probably didn't expect, and it's not the striker version of this player because I actually packed the lower rated version of him, but it is Alexis Sanchez, and that makes the 100 chemistry team. You can see 84 games with him, he's my most played player on this game, so 84 games with him, 38 goals, and I packed him. The reason he's my most played with player is because I packed him, I think it was like maybe my first 2 games, and then I opened one of them free 2-player packs, and I got him. Like, he's untradeable, so which kind of bugs me out, because when I got him he was like 300, 250, around about that mark, that many coins when I first packed him. Now he's probably about 60, I'm not sure how many he is now, but he's good, and 84 games, 38 goals. I mean, that's not the greatest ever, but I've always played him in left wing or right wing. This is one of the first times I've actually played him in strike, so that's the reason I can give to that, and you'll see that he probably plays better in strike than he does in the wing. I'm going to be honest, even the left winger card. But anyway, let's get into the gameplay. So I'm back now, I've played 6 games, and I'm going to show you the last 3 games, because the last 3 games were the best games. I won 1-5-1, I won 3-0 in the other one, which should have been about 10-0. I dominated that one, and then I won 1-6-1. Now, the best player in this team by far is Adam Lallana that I've seen. This was a decent goal by Sinclair there, but it was Adam Lallana by far. I'm not sure if it was his 5-star weak foot, I'm not sure if it was his dribbling, if it was his skills, I'm not sure what it was. But he was the best player. Sinclair actually has 99 penalties, and I never normally miss penalties, and look at this. I missed it. That was a terrible penalty, and it was my fault 100%. But I mean, 99 penalties, I take penalties with people who have like 78 penalties, and I hit the top corner, no keeper saving it. But yeah, anyone who knows me FIFA knows that I never miss penalties. That's probably the first penalty in about 20 penalties that I've missed. But yeah, Sinclair does have 99 penalties, just in case you want to buy him for that reason alone. But that was a decent goal there from Lallana, and he was the best player. Sinclair, like I showed you before, he got 4 games and 1 goal, but in the last 2 games, I think it was the last game where we won 6-1, he actually got a hat-trick, so he did score more goals than 1. He's actually a really good player, but he does really good assists. I mean, this isn't the one I was on about. I thought this was a sweaty one. I know we scored quite a sweaty goal later on, and Sinclair does assist it, but Sanchez, yeah, Adam Lallana's the best player. Sanchez and Sinclair, I'd say Sinclair's just a bit better, maybe because he's in form. I'd say it's more to do with his pace. Like, look at this, Anyone should have put that away. 9 times out of 10 people would have put that away. That's how bad I am at FIFA. I'm bad at FIFA, and if I can win 5-1 with this team, you can win anything. This is a sweaty goal I was on about. To be honest, looked like it was going to miss for a moment there, but that is Sanchez. I know I do the dad celebration, I shouldn't really do it, but yeah, if you're going to buy this team, taking away Sanchez, you don't really need Sanchez, I'm going to be honest. Sanchez was just, I packed him in a free pack, I might as well use him. That's kind of the way I went with Sanchez, but you could put anyone there. You could put Sturridge. I mean, Sturridge is quite expensive. You could put Sturridge. You could put, to be honest, like somebody like Nolito, like somebody who's not even a striker. But I'd prefer to have a striker there, to be honest. I mean, Sanchez is good and all, but if you had somebody there like, I don't know, Ibra or something, obviously. But I mean, you could put literally any striker from the Premier League there, and the team will play just as well. I mean, like, look at that crossbar. And it was just a lucky goal. I had a lot of lucky goals in this. Like Michy Batshuayi, I actually tried out with this team after all this. I was going to say I actually lost my train of thought for a minute, but Michy Batshuayi I played with this team, and I won 3-1. I'm pretty sure the score was. So this team can play just as good with any old striker. It doesn't have to be Sanchez. Although Sanchez can definitely improve your team and make it better, you don't need him. Sinclair and Lallana just acts like a striker. He doesn't even act like a cam, in a sense. I'm pretty sure this is a Lallana header. Yep, Lallana was easily my best player. Sinclair close second, and then, well, no, Lallana was easily the best. Sinclair was second, and then Sanchez, I'd say, was a close third. This was quite a good through ball, actually, and Henderson finishing off there. But yeah, that has been the team. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to play some music in the background. I'll let you look at the rest of the goals, and yeah, see you in the next video.